Hello everyone, good evening. So I would like to know if I'm audible and can you all see me and can you all see the presentation? Please drop a confirmation message so that we can start. Hello everyone, good evening. Cool, fine. Okay. So yesterday we were seeing 2018 previous year question papers, in the series of previous year question paper. We discussed 2018 question paper yesterday. So today we will be discussing 2017 question paper. So it's very important to at least, see the minimum of 5 to 10 years of question paper before going into the examination hall. Why? Number one, to know the strategy. Number two, sometimes the previous year question repeats. Fine. So these are the two major reasons to see the previous year questions. Okay, so we will be having a different approach towards question paper, but the previous year questions will teach us many things and they will give us information related to how to prepare for the examination. So according to me, the right process of preparation itself should start only with previous year question, and before going to the exam you should revise the previous year question. Fine. So today we will be discussing 2017 question paper, and for that I am thanking Unacademy for giving me this opportunity, and it is India's largest learning platform. And about me, I am Suba Keerthana. So I'm an engineer. Basically I have 4 years of teaching experience. I have mentored more than 100 students. I'm an anthropology faculty and I have teaching experience in terms of NEET also. So friends, please do join this Telegram channel. So you can also do one thing, go to Telegram and search for Unacademy underscore Suba Keerthana. So Unacademy underscore Suba Keerthana. So I'll be writing it somewhere here. I think it will be hidden behind my video. Unacademy underscore Suba Keerthana. So search in the Telegram and join my Telegram channel. It's an open channel. So there, public channel, I'll be sharing you these PDFs, the old question paper PDFs, along with the discussions also. Fine. Yes. So this is my profile link for Unacademy platform. There, please do go and visit. Why? Because you have less than, you have approximately 10 days for the examination. So there'll be some subjects you'll be scared about, some subjects you're not that strong about, some subject you're not confident enough. Then go to my profile. There you have MCQs discussions for almost all these subjects. Not like 1000 2000 200, no, 100 questions, top 100 questions, important questions, minimum of 100 questions from each subject. So that is what I have chosen. So you can just go and see those questions. Clear? Yes. So good evening. Yes, good evening, Sneha. Good evening, Patil. So what do you get from the subscription? See, you get daily live classes, live test and quizzes, structured courses, and unlimited access, all these things. Fine. So what we will do, we will go into the class now. We will start with the question, and then I will talk about the iconic, because iconic and plus, because I already have a news for you. There is going to be a hike very soon. So think about it. We'll talk about that. And this is my special class link. This is how our special class will be. You will be having the questions, and we will be discussing that. So please do come to that. Okay. Fine. It's recorded, so you can just go and watch. No issues at all. If you have doubts in any of the subjects, just go and watch those videos. Fine. So let me start. So I told you as yesterday, we are not going to discuss much about the concepts, but we are going to discuss about the strategy, because concepts you can get from many materials, many videos and many discussions, but the strategy is what is more important, more and more important when it comes to the previous year question. What strategy they use to make us, get confused, or what strategy like we should use to not get confused. These two are the things. Number one, uh, we should first of all understand UPSC questions. Number two is like we should have a strategy, proper strategy. So these two things are the important concepts. Fine. So coming to this question with reference to cabinet mission. Fine, cabinet mission. Which of the following statements is or are correct? It recommended a federal government. Okay. It enlarged the powers of Indian courts. It provided for more Indians in the Indian civil services. So this is the question. So you can see here that they are asking you the correct answer. So in this correct answer, it is recommended a federal government, enlarged the powers of Indian courts. It provided for more Indians in the ICS. The answer is one only, because the cabinet mission was sent, okay, in the year 1946. So why was this cabinet mission sent? Mainly was the cabinet mission was sent to help in the making of Constitution 1, and then what type of government should be formed. Okay, this enlarging the powers of Indian courts happened very long back before the cabinet mission, and provided for more Indians through Indian civil services also happened very long back. But the formation, it recommended the formation of federal government should be the correct answer, because the cabinet mission came and the main motive was itself to form a proper constituent assembly and how the government is going to run. Okay, so see this, which was to be empowered to deal with defense, foreign affairs and communication. The union government and its legislature were to have limited powers. The union would have powers necessary to raise the finances among the subjects. All other subjects, the union subjects and all the residuary powers were vested in the provinces. The cabinet mission's plan proposed a weak center provincial with provincial autonomy, which means federal government. So today we are federation with unitary bias. Yes or no? We, even though we call ourselves as a federation, we have a unitary bias because the center is more powerful than the state. That too, during emergency, the center is only the powerful part. The state will completely come under the control of center. But the cabinet mission, what the cabinet mission advised was, they wanted the residuary power to be within the provinces, and they wanted all the subjects except the union subject to be in the provinces, and the provinces were very strong and the center was very weak. Okay, so this is the important concept. You can just go and see in the cabinet mission India, in that you can just go and see. Fine. So the first statement here is, here I'm not using anything else. You need not know about cabinet mission, but the main thing is the ICS, Indian Civil Services, they did not talk about in the cabinet mission. The main work of cabinet mission was what kind of government we are going to form and what kind of constitution we should be forming. That was the major thing of, major aim of cabinet mission. Fine. So using this, I'm eliminating two options and I'm coming to the answer one only. Next. Which one of the following national parks has a climate that varies from tropical to subtropical, temperate and Arctic? See, almost this kind of this national park is having tropical, subtropical, and then temperate, Arctic. So this forest is having almost the four major biomes, three major biomes, that is tropical, temperate and Arctic. So in that, if you see, so what are these? So Kanchenjunga, Nanda Devi, Neora Valley, Namdapa. So all these four are present in the north. But you want some place which is having all these four, not any of these four. They're asking which one of the following national park has a climate that varies from. So a national park that has all these four. So you should know which state they belong to. If you know which state they belong to, you can actually answer this question. So that is why mostly these kind of questions come from the current affairs. So when you are studying some current affair, when you are studying a national park, that national park can be in current affair for various other reasons. But what you should know about that national park, which state it belongs to for sure. State is the first point you should definitely know. And then any speciality. Speciality is like what animal, or is there important river which is running through it, or any bird, or tiger sanctuary, is it tiger sanctuary? These kind of speciality, some specific points about that is needed. Okay, and if there is, it is close to anything. These kind of questions definitely you should take the map and see. These kind of national parks, it's not just by studying, it's not just going and searching the Google, and you have to definitely look at the maps in the look at these national parks in the map. Okay, so every atlas will have a specific map given especially for these, national parks, wildlife sanctuary, tiger sanctuary, all these things. So it is very important. In this concept, I will tell you the solution D. Why? Namdaspa National Park is in the Eastern Himalaya biodiversity in Arunachal Pradesh. See, this question have been asked. Arunachal Pradesh is very, very unique. Generally, Arunachal Pradesh itself is very unique because Arunachal Pradesh have tropical forest. Arunachal Pradesh has temperate forest, and it has mountain peaks also where Arctic is also present. Okay, so if you know this, this is in Arunachal Pradesh, and if you know that point, Arunachal Pradesh has tropical, subtropical, temperate, and Arctic forest. So you can come to the answer as Namdapa. Here you should know, confirm. Kanchenjunga is in Sikkim. Sikkim is, we know very well, it is in the Himalayas only. You will have Arctic. Maybe you will have some part of temperate at the foothills, but tropical, no. Okay, so Kanchenjunga you can readily eliminate. Nanda Devi also, you see Nanda Devi is in the north. Okay, so northern part. So that also will not come. Nanda Devi National Park have no tropical vegetation. Fine. So this is the problem. This is the answer that Namdapa will definitely come as the answer. It is in the Arunachal Pradesh. Clear? Next. Amnesty International. See, Amnesty International has been asked in the examination twice. 2018, yesterday question paper you saw. One of the option was rule of law index. In that one of the option was Amnesty International. So what is the work of Amnesty International? Is it an agency of United Nations to help refugees of civil war? Definitely not. It is not an agency of Amnesty. See, Amnesty International. So Amnesty International means it's an international organization, maybe a separate organization not linked with United Nations, because the wings of United Nations will either start with UN or they will be linked with some other terminologies. So definitely not. Amnesty International is not United Nations. A global human rights commission, okay, can be a non-governmental voluntary organization to help very poor people, okay, an intergovernmental agency, not an intergovernmental agency. You can eliminate that also. Amnesty International, fine. So in that, I am eliminating intergovernmental because I know Amnesty International is a private, I mean not non-governmental organization. That is the main thing. It's a non-governmental organization. So I'm eliminating A, I'm eliminating D. It should be either a global human rights movement or a non-governmental voluntary organization to help a very poor people. So here the answer is a global human rights movement. What is Amnesty International? See, Amnesty International, this also came in news, that year's current affair. So it's as per the website of Amnesty International, it's a global movement of more than 7 million people who take injustice personally. Okay, so they are campaigning for where human rights are enjoyed. Okay, campaigning for the world where human rights are enjoyed. They majorly work for human rights. So every time I tell you people what is the best method to study an international organization is, you're seeing in current affair an international organization, any organization, it can be an intergovernmental, non-governmental, non-profit, private, any organization it can be, go to their official website. Go to their official website, and in their official website you will have a column called as About Us. Read that About Us. So it's very important what that organization say about themselves. Fine, then that is very, very, very important. Clear? Yes. So here they are global human rights movement. See how I eliminated option A and D. It is definitely not an United Nations organ. I know it very well. So usually the United Nations organ starts with UN. Okay, and it is not an intergovernmental agency because I know very well Amnesty International is a non-governmental agency. So it is a private or a voluntary organization kind of work. It is not a UN agency. So what do they work for? So here you need this. So every organization have an objective that decides everything about that organization. So that is why you have to study about every organization. First and foremost thing is objective. If you know that, it's a human rights movement. Simple. Next, with reference to our archaeological history of India, which of the following was made earliest? Chronology. So to know this chronology, you should know which kingdom it was, which kingdom of or empire, dynasty or empire. Okay, so under which kingdom or dynasty or empire this was made is what you should know. So Lingaraja temple at Bhubaneswar, rocket elephant at Dhauli, rocket monuments at Mahabalipuram, Varaha image at Udayagiri. So these are the 4 questions. So here the answer is B, which is rocket elephant at Dhauli. Why? See, Lingaraja temple was created in 11th AD, and then rocket monuments at Mahabalipuram at 7th century. At Udayagiri it was formed in 5th century. But rocket elephant at Dhauli was created during Ashoka's reign. That's why I told you should know in whose reign it was made. See, Mahabalipuram, Pallavas, we know Pallavas. So Lingaraja temple was made in 11th century only. And Udayagiri is 5th century AD. But this was during the Ashoka's period, that is 272 to 231 BC. So it is the oldest among all the 4. Just that if you know it is related to Ashoka, you can answer, because generally we study Ashoka in ancient, and Pallavas we study in ancient also, in early medieval also. So that kind of understanding should be needed for this question. Okay, yes. With reference to Indian history, which of the following is these are the essential elementary elements of feudal system? They're talking about a feudal system. Number 1, they're talking about Indian history. They're not talking about general feudal system. They're talking about Indian history. In Indian history, they're talking about feudal system. A very strong centralized political authority and a very weak provincial or local political authority. Okay. Emergence of administrative structure based on control and possession of land. Creation of lord-vassal relationship between the feudal lord and his overlord. Fine. So they are asking you to select the correct answer. First statement I am telling you, a very strong centralized political authority. What is a feudal system? In feudal system, you will have a king. Under king, you will have someone called as nobles. So that nobles can be of any kind, some based on land, some based on birth. Okay, so it can be anything. So king, under that we have nobles or feudal lords. Nobles can also be called as feudal lords. And then you have people, common people. So in feudal system, this is how it works. So you have a king, you have a common people, and you have nobles. So what happened in this system? The nobles will start controlling the people, and the king will be collecting the revenue from nobles. So here the king is not having any direct relationship with people. When king do not have direct relationship with people, king is not powerful. Anywhere in any country, who controls the people will be powerful, not the one who is in between. I mean, not the one who is like indirectly controlling, no. Who is directly controlling the people will be the powerful one. In that statement, the very strong centralized political authority is wrong, because the local political authority, who are these nobles, were very powerful. So I'm eliminating the first statement. So I'm eliminating option D and option A. Now do you understand this concept, what I'm talking about? In feudal lord system, what happens is that there will be a person, middle person, we call it as nobles or feudal lords, who collect the revenue and give it to the king, or who controls the people and king allows it. So in that situation, the feudal lords become powerful than the king by themselves in many places. So I'm eliminating the first option. So I have 2 and 3 only, 3 only. So I'm going to the second. I know very well third option is right, because 2 and 3 is there, 3 only is there. So I'm going to the second option. Emergence of administrative structure based on control and possession of land. Very true. In India, okay. So in other countries, feudal system was present. In industrialization, if you see feudal system, their feudal system was present, world history. But in India, the possession of land, even today, the possession of land gives power in many village sites. Who is having today, even today, the land is seen as the symbol of power. It is seen as a symbol of pride. Even though the families are very much struggling, they don't sell the land because the land, they don't see the land as a property, but they see the land as a control or a family pride mechanism. So in that concept, second statement is right. Since the second statement is right, I'm choosing second and third only. Clear why I chose this? This is completely based on the concept. You need not know about Indian history. This is based on the basic concept of the feudal system. Okay. In examination, some questions will be like you might not have come across in your education system or your preparation process, but still just think and you can answer. Do you understand? The first statement is a trick here. Think and answer. Okay. Next question. Biocarbon Fund Initiative for Sustainable Forest Landscapes. Biocarbon Fund Initiative for Sustainable Forest Landscape. Fine. So this is managed by whom? So Asian Development Bank. So Asian Development Bank will not come because it is a regional bank. So do you see any regional terminology here? Regional, no. International Monetary Fund. International Monetary Fund's work itself is different. Their work is related to money. Their work is not related to sustainable forest management. Coming to United Nations Environment Program. United Nations Environment Program's function is to do projects and initiatives. They do not fund. So if you have United Nations Development Program, you might have got confused. But they do projects and initiative, their work is not funding. Okay. So the answer is World Bank, because World Bank has been funding for Biocarbon Fund Initiative for Sustainable Development Landscape and many other forest carbon partnership facility. So these kind of important projects, environmental project, World Bank is funding. And one more thing you should know, World Bank is having what is the main function of World Bank is to help the countries which are in need, and especially they don't have any specific field they work for. They work as an umbrella structure. They work for almost all projects. Okay, so in India they have given funds for water, agriculture. Okay, they have given funds for environmental projects. So you can't bring in World Bank as a normal bank. So they work as a funding agency for many projects. So how I eliminated, I told you, Asian Development Bank will not come. It's a regional bank. So this Biocarbon Fund Initiative for Sustainable Forest Landscape is an international organization, an international initiative. Definitely Asian Development Bank will not come. International Monetary Fund's work itself is different. It is based on money. Okay, so it is based on this money market. United Nations Environment Program do projects and initiatives. They do not fund, but UNDP funds. Okay, so here World Bank is only the answer. Biocarbon Initiative for, and this is with red. Okay, yes. So landscapes. If you see land, because red is especially for deforestation and degradation of forest, reducing the emissions from deforestation and degradation of forest landscapes. That is what is red. In that, this Biocarbon Fund Initiative is one of the main initiative which is managed by World Bank, which is helping red. And red's major function is they work for developing nations. They work, their targeted nations are developing nations. Keep that in mind. These 2 points. One is developing nations, and they especially work for reducing emissions or greenhouse gases. Clear? Next. India is a member of which of the following? Asia Pacific Economic Corporation, or sorry, it's cooperation. Okay, so it's cooperation. Association of Southeast Asian Nations, East Asia Summit. Okay. I know very well that Association of Southeast Asian Nation, no, India is a free trade partner, not Association of Southeast Asian Nation. So I'm eliminating two. I get two options, either three only, or India is a member of none of them. So Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, so one is also not the answer, so I'm eliminating one also. So I have to know whether it is three or no? So in that statement, yes, India is a member of East Asia Summit. Okay, so we come under the concept of Southeast Asian nation. Yes, we are member of East Asia Summit. Okay, so keep that in mind, that East Asia Summit is ASEAN plus 6, not ASEAN. ASEAN plus 6 is ASEAN plus 6 free trade partners. Fine? Okay. In India, steel production industry requires the import of dash. Okay, so in this, rock, saltpeter, rock phosphate, coking coal, all the above. See, all the above definitely will not come because saltpeter is used in fertilizers, not in coal industry. So I'm eliminating this. Definitely I know very well coking coal is needed for steel. So I am eliminating rock phosphate because I know very sure but that coking coal is needed for this steel industry. So I had a doubt. Saltpeter, many people don't know about saltpeter. It is potassium nitrate. Okay. Yesterday also we saw staple, which was it is used in the fertilizers, treat, stump removal, rock propellants and fireworks. It's one of the major constituents of gunpowder. It's also called as black powder. Okay. So in Middle Ages it was used as a food preservative. Now do you know why the British exported saltpeter from India? Yes. Fine. So here I'm readily eliminating the first option. So if I eliminate the first option, D will go because all the above cannot be the answer if I eliminate the first option. So rock phosphate, no. Coking coal will definitely come. For steel industry, coking coal is the most important part. That is why if you are taking the map and looking at the steel industry, most of the steel industry will be located near a coal mine. Just go and look. Okay, in Jamshedpur, in many places, you have a steel industry. Very close to that itself, you have a coal mine because coal is the most important raw material in terms of steel industry. This is a basic concept. It's a very basic concept. Okay, yes. See here in this question, you can see this. You have an answer which you know very well. So this many people can guess, but you don't know about saltpeter and rock phosphate. So that is how they are confusing you. So you should know about saltpeter and rock phosphate. So only then you can answer this question. Otherwise, it is really, really tough. Okay, but you can eliminate saltpeter because yesterday we saw it is one of a staple. So used in something related to food industry or something related to agriculture or something. So I'm eliminating that. I'm coming to this conclusion. Okay. Yes. Okay. The provision in the fifth schedule and sixth schedule in the Constitution of India are made in order to. So they're not asking only fifth schedule, they're not asking only sixth schedule. They're talking about both. So you should know about fifth and sixth schedule for this. So coming to this answer, protecting the interest of scheduled tribes, determine the boundary between states, determine the powers, authorities and responsibilities of panchayats, protect the interests of all border states. Obviously, the first is the answer. This question is very straight. Determine the boundary of state. We have Schedule 1, Union and its territory. And then powers, authorities and responsibilities of Panchayat is 11th schedule. We know that very well. Interest of all border states also will come in, different schedules, but definitely not 5th and 6th schedule. So I'm coming to the conclusion A. Okay, it's very straight question. Nothing much to worry about. With reference to union government, consider the following statements. Okay, so 1 second, guys. Fine. So with reference to the union government, consider the following statements. The Department of Revenue is responsible for the preparation. Okay, they are talking about they're talking about the union budget. Department of Revenue is responsible for the preparation of union budget that is presented in the parliament. No amount can be withdrawn from the Consolidated Fund of India without authorization of Parliament of India. All the disbursement made from public account also need authorization from the Parliament of India. Okay, fine. See in this, for public account, Parliament of India do not have any power because public account works based on executive orders. See, in one class we have discussed related to funds. Okay, so devices of parliamentary proceedings. I discussed about three funds. In that, what is Consolidated Fund of India, Contingency Fund of India, and Public Accounts. In that, Consolidated Fund of India only requires Parliament's approval, so not the contingent public accounts. So if I'm eliminating third option, so I get 1 and 2 only, 2 only. So in that, no amount can be withdrawn from the Consolidated Fund of India without the authorization of Parliament of India is right. Okay. The thing is, there are two kinds of expenditure made from the expenditure from this. One is expenditure charged on Consolidated Fund of India. Second is expenditure made from Consolidated Fund of India. So expenditure charge is like which is predetermined, which Parliament can discuss but cannot alter. Okay, if they want to alter, they should bring some amendments. It is a very big work. They can only do the appropriation bill, they will discuss and take the money out. But expenditure made is mostly from the budget part. For that also, Parliament's appropriation bill is needed. So second statement is definitely correct. But the first statement, the Department of Revenue is responsible. No, we know very well who is responsible for that is, okay, Department of Finance is responsible, not Department of Revenue. Finance Ministry is responsible. So who will Department of Expenditure, Department of Revenue? Okay, yes, the Department of Expenditure also assesses it. Okay, Department of Economic Affairs, I'm really sorry. Department of Economic Affairs is the budget division. So Department of Expenditure takes care of expenditure, revenue takes care of revenue, and the budget is finally given by the Department of Economic Affairs. The Finance Secretary only coordinates the overall budget making process. Clear? So I know very well that the third statement is wrong. Keep this in mind. Only Consolidated Fund of India needs the permission from the Parliament. Contingency Fund of India, the President can take it outside, or it is also called as an executive order. Public accounts also, the money is taken out through executive order. Consolidated Fund of India, if you have to take the money outside, appropriation bill has to be passed, and only then money can come outside. The third statement is definitely wrong because it does not need the authorization of Parliament. I'm eliminating the third option. I have only two options, 1 and 2 only, 2 only. I know very well that Department of Revenue is not responsible. Why? Budget is not just about revenue, budget is about expenditure and revenue. So Department of Revenue cannot do it, or Department of Expenditure cannot do it, but Department of Economic Affairs only does this union budget. The two Finance Secretary only takes care of it. Okay, Finance Ministry, Department of Economic Affairs. So if you know that statement, you can come to the conclusion that 2 only is the answer. Clear? Yes. Who, which of the following, who or which of the following is the custodian of Constitution of India? Yes. See, in this statement, obviously not Prime Minister, not Lok Sabha. So this two you can readily eliminate. So there was a confusion between President and Supreme Court. So President in his oath, he will say that he will, protect the Constitution. Some terms he will say. But who is the custodian of Constitution of India? Who is guardian of Constitution of India? Or who is the final interpreter of Constitution of India? It's obviously Supreme Court. Yes. Okay, it is definitely Supreme Court that the guardian, custodian, or final interpreter of Constitution, or guarantor of fundamental rights. Many terminologies are there for Supreme Court. Guarantor of fundamental rights, custodian of Indian Constitution, guardian of Indian Constitution, final interpreter of Indian Constitution. These terms belongs to Supreme Court. Okay, the function of Supreme Court itself is to check that the Constitution is supreme. For that only they have the concept of judicial review. Okay, such that the Constitution is not changed or altered such that it loses power. So that is why Supreme Court is called as the custodian of Indian Constitution. It is not directly mentioned, but still it is what to say, it is the power of Supreme Court that it is the custodian of Indian Constitution. Okay, yes. Consider the following statement. The accelerated, see this is all like current affairs that year. The accelerated irrigation benefits program was launched during 1996 to 97 to provide load assistance to poor farmers. The command area development program was launched in 1974 to 75 for the development of water use efficiency. Okay, see this irrigation, water use. Okay, command area development, loan assistance to poor farmers. Okay, so this is my guess. Let's see the answer. Here, option B is correct because irrigation means it should be related to water use, but development can have both loan assistance to poor farmers and water use. So in that, the second statement is right, but the first statement is wrong because this program was launched in 1996 to 97. One second. Yes. So, give loan assistance to states to help a few major irrigation projects, not for the poor farmers. So, this question was in the current affairs. So, other than that, you don't know, some questions are like I told you already, you can't take risk, much risk. So, this is one such question. Either it should be in the current affairs at that year, or you need not take risk. It's a post independent consolidated kind related question. Okay, next. Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, very important. So let's see this. Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. So this committee, many people will get confused. Food Safety Standards, Geographical Indications, Wildlife Protection Act, Environment Protection Act. Okay. I'll ask you one thing. Is genetic engineering used only for food? Is genetics used only for food? No. So obviously food safety and standards will not come. Geographical indication is completely related to trade. It does not have anything to do with genetic engineering. Wildlife Protection Act is speaking about the schedules or list of animals and plants which are protected. That also will not come. But genetic engineering has link with environmental protection, so that is the answer. Clear how I came to conclusion to this question? I don't know about it is an Environment Protection Act or not. Genetic engineering is not only done for food. Okay, if it is only done for food, you can talk about food safety and standards. It's used in agriculture, it is used in medicine preparation process, it is used in various scientific reasons. Disease management, eugenics, many things. So for food safety standards, I have eliminated. Geographical indication of goods is clearly related with trade. Okay, it is related with trade benefits so that you give a recognition to a project and that project is gaining more attention in the trade world and it gets more, more value is called as geographical indication. I'm eliminating that. Wildlife Protection Act clearly has schedules and rules and regulations about what are all the protected animals, what are the degrees of protection. Okay, yes. So in that, definitely Environmental Protection Act only should come. So that is the answer. And on the other side also, Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee is an apex body constituted under Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Rules of manufacture, use, import and export, storage of hazardous microorganism. This comes under the Environment Protection Act of 1986. Clear? Yes. So I will share you this in the Telegram channel. Don't worry, study about this. Now, since we are discussing strategy, for strategy itself, it takes 3.5 hours. So I don't want to, take more time and make you people more tired. Clear? See, in this Mekong Ganga cooperation, an initiative of 6 countries, which of the following is not a participant? See this question, they're talking about not a participant, they're not talking about who are all the participants. Fine. So Mekong Ganga, so it is an initiative where it is established based on the river Mekong Ganga. So it comprises of 6 member countries, namely India, Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos and Vietnam. You should know this. For this question, you should definitely know this. Fine. So I'm repeating: India, Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam. So if you see, it is the Southeast Asian nations. In this, Bangladesh will not come and China will not come. Cambodia is there, Myanmar is there, Thailand is there, India is there, Laos. Did I miss any other country? Vietnam. Okay, so this question, Mekong Ganga Cooperation, was a current affair also, international affairs, current affairs, and you should definitely know in terms of international affairs, current affairs. So you can ask me, ma'am, should I read everything, every members? If India is there, you should definitely know all the members. Number one, if India is a member, you should know all the members. If India is not a member, you should know that India is not a member. That's all. Do you understand? So you should know that India is not a member in that. Like ASEAN, in terms of ASEAN, India is a free trade partner. It's not a member. So that kind of understanding you should need. Obviously, it is not possible to remember all the members of all the international organization. No, you should know whether India is a member or not. If India is a member, who are all there in that? Fine, that is what you should need. But now we should concentrate on China also, because China is a very big threat to India. So we should concentrate on India also. You understand? So in that, Thailand, Cambodia and Myanmar is the answer, but here they're asking not. So 1 and 3 only is the answer. Option is C. Clear? Yes. Fine. So Basel III Accord, or simply Basel III, often seen in news, is related to what? See, Basel Convention is there. Basel Convention is there. Basel Accord is there. Be very careful when you talk about. When you talk about Basel Convention, it is something related to environment. But Basel Accord is related to economics. Be very careful in answering. See, develop national strategies for the conservation and sustainable use of biological diversity. So this is about accord. It is not Basel Convention. Basel III Accord. Okay. Improving banking sector ability to deal with financial and economic stress and improve risk. So this might be the answer because it is related to economics. Reduce the greenhouse gas emission, not environment. Transfer technology from country to enable replace the use of chlorofluorocarbons. No. See how they have set the trap. Everybody know about Basel Convention. So Basel Convention also, everybody will study about Basel Convention. So immediately we'll get deceived and we will go to the answer in any three. We will readily eliminate this B option and we'll be thinking about A, C and D only. Okay. In that we will try to eliminate greenhouse gas. We will try to eliminate all these things and we will go to the some answer. But actually it is related to banking sector because it is Basel III Accord, that is Basel Convention. You should know this difference. UPSC will try to confuse you with whatever you know only. They don't bring something new. You know something, but you're not very thorough about something, then UPSC will confuse you. Do you understand? One such question is here. I just know Basel III is related to economics. That's all, and it is related to this NPAs. Okay, ability to deal with financial and economic stress and improve risk management. So that is this answer. Clear? Yes. So the answer is B. Third Basel Accord is a global voluntary regulatory framework on bank capital adequacy, stress testing and market liquidity risk. You should be having a clear-cut ideology about what you are studying. Similarities, differences, all we should see. It is not about just taking the data. Keep one thing in mind. Everybody can take data into your mind, in their mind, but who is assimilating the data? Who's assimilating the data, who's processing the data in their mind? So you have to process. When you process the data, you get minimum data. You don't get all the data in mind, you get just the minimum data, but that data is more efficient. That is what UPSC expects from you. So that comes in the preparation process itself. No problem, you have data that you can use it in the examination hall also by properly channelizing it. Clear? Next question. Consider the following statement. The winds blow between 30° north and 60° south latitude throughout the year is known as Westerlies. Okay. See this? 0, 30° is like, above Tropic of Cancer. 60° south is like, nearly above our Antarctic Circle. 66° is Antarctic Circle. So, see, this much variation is there. So, first statement is something you should think about. The moist air masses that causes winter rains. Winter rains in the northwestern region of India are part of Westerlies. This might be right. But the first statement is wrong because see 30° to 60° north is and 30° to 60° south can become the answer, but 30° north and 60° south is like covering 3/4 of the earth. It's like 3/4 of the earth. You have same planetary event. We have different tropics, and then you have subtropics, and then you have temperates. So the answer here is 30° to 60° north and 30° to 60° south. Actually it lies in the temperate region. Westerlies comes in the temperate region. So here they talk about the complete tropical region, northern tropical region and southern tropical region and the southern temperate region, which is actually wrong. So please be very careful in this north-south, north-south coordinates when you are answering. So I just know this. I am having a doubt. That's all. You don't know about Westerlies. But is it possible? No, I'm eliminating first. Second, yes, because Westerlies are something which has an, temperate region, a northwestern region of India. It's like you have it in this side, Rajasthan, Punjab, all these places. Yes, Westerlies. The moist air that causes winter rains. Summer rains is southwest monsoon. Immediately after the summer, you have southwest monsoon. So that too in northwestern region, we know very well Aravalli range is present. So southwest monsoon does not give much rain. Okay. So here the statement is B. Clear how I eliminated? In geography, you should know the basics. Immediately think about why should they give the coordinates here if that is not relevant. So here the coordinates are very important. Here I have given you in bold, but in examination they won't give you in bold. Okay, be very careful about north-south concept. Okay, yes. With reference to Indian Ocean Rim Association for Regional Cooperation, consider the following statement. Okay, Indian Ocean Rim Association for Cooperation. It was established very recently in response to incidents of piracy and accidents of oil spills. It is an alliance meant for maritime security only. Okay. So Indian Ocean Rim Association for Regional Cooperation. That is the statement. So maritime security only will be the regional cooperation is a very big doubt for me. Number one. Number two, it was established very recently in response to incidents of piracy and accidents of oil. Actually, the organization was established as Indian Ocean Rim Initiative in Mauritius in 1995 itself. It's a 2017 question. Actually, that year it came in current affairs, so it was asked as a question. Okay, so it was launched in 1995, 1997, very long back. CSAT paper discussion, I will let you know. Okay, I'm not very sure about CSAT paper discussion. I will let you know about it. Okay, yes, but we have GS discussion. Okay, tomorrow we don't have any session on, I mean, my class won't be there. No, some other educator will come for 2016 paper discussion. I will be back on 15 and 14. CSAT, I will let you know. Okay, yes. Next. So that's why I told you regional cooperation. If you see the term regional cooperation, it means they should help in terms of trade, they should help in terms of economy. Sometimes cultural transfers might take place. Sometimes you have, maritime security. So it should be a multi-departmental or multi-sectoral cooperation. See disaster management, see cultural exchanges, I told you gender empowerment. Regional cooperation is a broader term. Obviously, maritime safety and security will be there because it is Indian Ocean Rim. Okay, now do you understand how I came to the answer? First statement might be confusing if you don't know the current affair. That is purely current affair. But second statement, I can come to the conclusion because regional cooperation, they might have it as maritime security itself in the name, if it is only about maritime security. The name, see, name of every organization is clearly given. They don't just give the name for every organization. So the name of every organization itself gives you so much, data. So please be very careful while answering that. If you know that second statement is wrong, you eliminate two options. You have either one only or neither one nor two. There, the first statement is definitely you should know the data. Otherwise, you cannot crack the first statement. Okay. Next. Which one of the following movement has contributed to a split in Indian National Congress, emergence of moderates and extremists? So it's a direct question only, not Quit India movement, not non-cooperation movement, not civil disobedience movement, because moderates and extremists split took very long back. Surat split of 1917. So before Surat split, what happened was Swadeshi movement. Clear? Very clear. See, moderates and extremists took place in Surat split 1917. Swadeshi movement even started in Bengal. 1905 Bengal partition itself, the Swadeshi movement actually started. So after that, in Swadeshi movement, only it became very stronger, and moderates and extremists got their difference of opinions, and then they both split, and that was called a Surat split in 19. Sorry. I'm really sorry. 1917 is Lucknow Pact. Surat split took place in 1907. I'm really sorry. Okay, yes. Lucknow session is 1916, Surat split is 1907. So Swadeshi movement took place in 1905 in Bengal, partition of Bengal itself, and then came in 1907 the Surat split. In 1916 the Lucknow Pact came, in which they both joined. Okay, and Muslim League also joined the Indian National Congress in the Lucknow Pact. I mean, in that year, 1906 Muslim League was formed. 1907 Surat split took place. 1916 Lucknow Pact came into place. In that, both extremists and Muslim League also joined the Indian National Congress session. Okay, next. In a particular region in India, the local people train the roots of living tree into robust bridges across these streams. As the time passes, these bridges become stronger. These unique living root bridges are found in Meghalaya. This is a very straight question. That year it also got recognition, so that is why the question came. It is based on the current affair only. Okay, that year's current affair. So this is the main thing. What you have to know is Kashi people. So which tribal people, Kashi people are involved in that. That is what now you should know. Maybe in the UPSC prelims this year you might get question related to this. Okay, yes. See, tides occur in oceans and seas due to which of the following? Gravitation force of sun, gravitation force of moon, gravitation force of earth. So here, gravitation force of sun and moon, definitely yes. And gravitational force of earth is also needed, otherwise the water will go up and will not come down. So a wave, you call it as up and down, is called as wave. The upward motion is because of the gravitational force of sun and moon. The downward, the water comes back to the earth because of gravitational force of earth. So many people will only answer 1 and 2 only, but good, luckily they did not give 1 and 2 only. The answer is 1, 2 and 3, all the above. It's clear. Okay, it's very simple concept. In which of the following activities Indian remote sensing satellites are used? Assessment of crop productivity, groundwater resources, mineral exploration, telecommunication, traffic studies. Actually, all okay, 1, 2, and 3 only. Okay. Okay, Indian remote sensing satellites. So for telecommunication traffic studies, we use GPS and we use this communication satellites. I'm sorry. Indian remote sensing satellites we are used in assessment of crop productivity, locating groundwater resources, mineral exploration. So don't do the mistake I do. Okay. Yes. See, for telecommunication we use geostationary satellites, and for this traffic studies we use GPS. We use Google Maps, GPS, global positioning system kind of things. Consider following states. They are asking about tropical wet evergreen forest. Tropical wet evergreen forest. Fine. See, Himachal Pradesh, you don't have tropical wet evergreen forest because Himachal Pradesh, you either have Arctic tundra or taiga kind of climate, or you have temperate forest. You don't have tropical wet forest. In that I'm eliminating option 2. So I eliminate option 2, you have 1 only, 1 and 3 only. So the answer is Mizoram. Where does Mizoram comes? So Mizoram comes, you have Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram. So in that the option is C, both 1 and 3 will come, because we know very well Arunachal Pradesh, just in the previous question we saw, it is having tropical, subtropical, and then temperate and Arctic. So 1 should definitely come. It is either 1 only or 1 and 3 only. Mizoram, we know northeastern Himalayas. So our eastern Himalayas. So eastern Himalayas, we know it is having tropical evergreen, wet evergreen forest. Why we call it as wet evergreen is very high rainfall. Okay, so that I am choosing the answer 1 and 3 only. Clear? Next. In ARC, sometimes the news is related to indigenously developed radar system, Indian satellites to provide services to the country of Indian Ocean Rim. See, Indian satellite to provide services to the country of Indian Ocean Rim, IRNSS. So you can eliminate this. And then a scientific establishment by India in Antarctic region, India's underwater observatory to scientifically study Arctic region. So see this two statement. First statement I don't know. So but the third and fourth statement are very similar. See, either Antarctic is given, Arctic is given. Very similar. Why these two similar options are given? To confuse you. So the answer should be either C or D. Here they are giving IND ARC, stands for Arctic. So the answer is India's underwater observatory to scientifically study Arctic region. But still it was a current affair that year. Okay, so don't worry. Current affairs is like you will definitely know. So this, it was a current affair, but still I'm telling you how to eliminate options sometimes. Okay, see the third and fourth options are very similar, just that Arctic and Antarctic is the variation. But in the question you have in the arc, I told you already, the names are not set just like that. Every name has a reason behind it. If you understand the name, you can come to the conclusion. Okay, so please read the name of the question. I mean, name of that particular what organization or whatever it is, technology or whatever it is. Read it properly. Try to assimilate that question and then come to the conclusion. Okay. Yes. Forest carbon partnership facility. Let's see how we are answering, because we talk about biocarbon fund. So it's similar to that. Forest carbon partnership facility. Which of the following statement is correct? It's a global partnership of government, business, civil society, and indigenous people. It provides financial aid to universities, individual scientists, and institutions involved in scientific forestry research to develop eco-friendly and climate adaptation technologies for sustainable forest management. It assists the countries in their RED plus reducing emissions from the deforestation efforts by providing them financial and technical assistance. Okay. So here the answer is 1 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. Here what we have to do is, what is their function? First of all, see forest carbon, I told you the name itself gives us many things. Partnership facility. So partnership means it's a global partnership of governments, business, civil society, indigenous people. If it is a you don't call it a partnership of government, you call it an intergovernmental organization. So when the term partnership comes, it means it is a broad category that many are involved in that: governments, business, non-governmental organization. Non-governmental organization is similar to civil society, indigenous people, everything. The first statement is correct. And it assists, forest carbon partnership facility. I told you already. What is RED plus is? RED is related to this C, reducing the emission from the deforestation and forest degradation. You have the term forest here. So definitely it is related to forest. So the third statement is all right. But the second statement, you should have studied forest carbon partnership facility. They do not provide financial aid to universities, individual scientists. They provide help to the countries. Okay, their work is to provide help to the countries, that is to RED plus developing countries. I already told you, when you are linked with RED plus or RED plus, you work with developing countries. Here they're talking about individuals and private organizations. No. Okay, their work is clearly that they help the developing countries to fill the gap. Okay, fill the gap between their need of the fund and what project they should do. Okay, yes. The answer is 1 and 3 only. Which one of the following was given classical language recently? Odia, because we know Konkani, Bhojpuri, Assamese are all in schedule 8. But did they get this classical language status? Classical languages are very less. Just go and see what are the classical languages. Okay, so you should know the list of classical languages, then you can answer this question very easily. See, this was also repeated from GS paper 2014. That is the reason I tell you, you should definitely look into old question papers, because there is a possibility of you getting the questions again and again. Okay, next. With reference to organization known as BirdLife International, which of the following statements are correct? It's a global partnership of conservation organization. Very right. BirdLife International is a partnership organization. The first and foremost thing you should know. The concept of biodiversity hotspots originated from this organization. Okay, biodiversity hotspot is it is not from organization. It is a individual's ideology. So second statement should not come. It identifies the sites known as important bird and biodiversity areas, right? Because for the IUCN, they are the ones who give the threatened species of birds. List of threatened species of birds from for IUCN is given by BirdLife International only. So here the answer is 1 and 3 only. I told you already. Biodiversity hotspot is a different concept. It's from a individual's ideology. Okay, so that is a very different concept, not this BirdLife Internationals. Which one of the following countries of Southwest Asia do not open out to Mediterranean Sea? See, this question is clearly related to international affairs. I told you already, international affairs question, definitely you will get at least 1 or 2 map questions from international affairs. How? You see any country in news, see all these countries were seen in news, civil war in Syria, Israel-Palestine conflict. So all these things are seen in the news. It's not like just like that they asked. So whenever you see an international affairs kind of questions. So international relations, you don't get much of map based question, but international affairs you get. So in that international affairs, see this, the question is B, see this map, Syria, Syria, Israel is there, and then you have Lebanon, see this map. But Jordan does not open into Mediterranean Sea. Jordan is opening into Red Sea. This is Red Sea. Fine. See this. So Israel is in between. So the answer is Jordan. You unless and until you have seen the map at least once, because that year it was a current affair. Israel was in current affair, Syria was in current affair, and then Lebanon was in current affair. So it is like you should definitely know that it is opening in Mediterranean Sea or which sea. Clear? Yes. In India, which of the following types of forest is a teak dominant tree species? Tropical moist deciduous, tropical rainforest, tropical thorn scrub forest, temperate forest. See, rainforest, it's evergreen forest. So in terms of evergreen forest, you don't find teak much. Thorn scrub forest is like you have a forest where the vegetation is very scarce and you have scrub and thorns, which is water is very less. Grasslands, you find trees very less in grasslands. So the answer is tropical moist deciduous forest. It's a very open question, straight question, but still I'm helping you to eliminate the options. Okay, so the teak is a dominant species in tropical moist deciduous forest only. That is a straight away question. But in tropical rainforest, you don't find teak. You find very big trees in tropical rainforest. And tropical thorn scrub forest is like very scarcely present. The term itself has scrub. Scrub is not tree, it's a very short kind of plants. Grasslands, you have more grasses, not trees. So obviously teak is to come in first option. Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action often seen in news. This is again current affair. So the answer is C, Agenda for Women Empowerment, outcome of World Conference convened by United Nations. Again current affair. This is all like you should know the current affair to answer these questions. Each day is more or less the same. The morning is clear and bright with a sea breeze, and the sun climbs high in the sky, heats mount up, dark clouds form. The rain comes with thunder and lightning, but rain is soon over. Which of the following regions is described in the above passage? See, each day, each day they are talking about. See, each day you have rain. That's all. You don't think about anything. Each day you have rain. Savannah, do you have rain daily? No. In Savannah, the thing is you don't have rain daily. You have less rain, but more dew kind of concept you have. Monsoon means you don't have rain every day, but you have only in the season. It's a monsoon, it's a seasonal rainfall. So definitely not that. Mediterranean region is like you don't get rainfall. Winter is very cold, summer is very hot. But each day is more or less same as equatorial only. This is a very straight question. Okay, each day you have rain, each day you have sunlight, each day you have the hot convectional rainfall. This is nothing but the convectional rainfall. Convectional rainfall is very high That happens daily in equatorial region only. The answer is B, simple. Okay, it's a very straight question, basic climatology geography question. Okay, yes. With reference to Indian economy, consider the following statement. The rate of growth of real gross domestic product has steadily increased in the last decade. The gross domestic product at market prices has steadily, see, this is a current affair. So 2017 economic survey based question. So I'm skipping this question because I don't want to confuse you. Now we know very well the gross domestic product has decreased, changed. Fine. So, and the gross domestic product at market price also might have changed. So, you know, so this question I'm skipping. Clear? The Legislative Council of a state in India can be larger in size than half of the Legislative Assembly of the particular state. See, Legislative Council of a state in India can be larger in size than half of the Legislative Assembly of particular state. They are not talking about more than Legislative Assembly. They are saying that more than half. Okay, okay. The governor of a state nominates the chairman of Legislative Council of that particular state. Clear. So in this, solution is D because we know very well the maximum strength of the council is fixed at 1/3 only. 1/3 is less than 1/2 or more than 1/2. What is the value of 1/3? 1/2 is 0.5. 1/3 is 0. Some 3. Some 3, 3, 3 it will be going. So the first statement is definitely wrong. Legislative Council chairman is elected by the council. Okay, so Rajya Sabha chairman is the vice president. But in the state, the Legislative Council's chairman will be elected among themselves. Okay, so the statement is second statement is also wrong. The answer is neither one nor two. Very important. Because every year you get question either from Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, or Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly, or State Legislative Assembly and Legislative Council. These kind of questions you get every year. Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha versus Rajya Sabha kind of question. Lok Sabha versus State Legislative Assembly kind of question. Last year, 2019, if you see, we got questions like this. Many people got confused. See, in majority, Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly will be similar, but not in everything. They have variations among them. So go and study the variations alone. In which places they are different, that is what is more important. State Legislative Assembly and State Legislative Council questions also will come. Okay, next. To uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India as a provision made in, see, Preamble of Constitution, Directive Principle of State Policy, Fundamental Rights, Fundamental Duties. They are given in double quotes. So given in double quotes means it is a straight statement. So not Directive Principles, Fundamental Rights. In both, they did not talk about sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. But they have spoken in Preamble of Constitution and Fundamental Duties. In Preamble of Constitution, do we have the same line? We have socialist, sovereign, socialist and yes, secular, not sovereignty, unity, integrity. We have all these words, but not in this line. The answer is fundamental duties. Do you get it? See, they have given in double quotes. We all know sovereignty is present, unity is present, India is present in preamble. Here, many people will commit a mistake of going to preamble, but see clearly double quotes is given, which means the direct statement of constitution is given. Double quotes, what does double quotes mean? What is the direct, the original statement is given here. In the original statement, we know the statement of preamble very clearly. We have, we the people of India, that is how it starts. We have sovereign, socialist, secular, that kind of wording you have. But you don't have the sovereignty, unity and integrity. No, uphold and protect is what is in fundamental duties. Clear? Please don't get deceived. These are all like very small things you should note down before answering. Okay? Yes. Which one of the following is the best description of ecosystem? See, we are asking the best description. Important point. System. A community of organisms interacting with one another. That part of earth which is inhabited by living organism. A community of organisms together with the environment in which they live. The flora and fauna of a geographical area. Community of organisms interacting with one another might seem right, that part of Earth, this is nothing but biosphere. So we have different spheres, right? Atmosphere, lithosphere, and we have hydrosphere. We have biosphere also. That is what is the definition. B is the definition of biosphere. A community of organisms together with the environment in which they live, the flora and fauna of geographical area, that will not come. So first statement might be the answer, or third statement. But ecosystem clearly states the interaction between the living and non-living part of a given area. That only the option C is the best answer. They're asking the best description. In that, option C is the answer. Clear? Because ecosystem is the interaction between the living and non-living, or biotic and abiotic factors of a particular area is called as ecosystem. In that, they should definitely mention environment. Environment is the abiotic factor. Environment includes water, land, soil, pressure, everything is included in this environment concept. So the option is C. See the question very clearly. Some people will immediately mark A because it seems like very right. Community of organisms interacting with one another. That seems to be right. That's right, but it is not complete. They're asking you the best description. It is not wrong. It's not the best description. The best description is option C. First statement, many people will get deceived in the first statement only, will mark that only as the answer. It is wrong. Clear? Yes. I'm telling you why I'm eliminating the options. If you are eliminating an option, you should know why you are eliminating an option. You should not be like, I don't feel this as an answer. No. You should eliminate an option because you have a reason behind it. That reason should be valuable and it should be fact based. Clear? Yes. The fundamental object of Panchayati Raj system is to ensure people participation in development. Yes, because in terms of Panchayati Raj, in one class I talk about participative democracy. See, generally in our country, we conduct general election. In that we have representative democracy, but Panchayati Raj main objective is participative democracy. Yes. Political accountability, democratic decentralization, definitely. Final mobilization, yes. 1, 3, and 4. Okay. So you should have 1, 3, and 4, but since 2, you don't have option like that. Political accountability also comes here. So sorry, 1 second. And 3 only. Oh, sorry. See, the fundamental object is what they're asking. So I should tell you why the answer is, why my prediction is wrong here. That is also very important. They're talking about the fundamental object. Fundamental object means when it was formed. So when it was formed, Panchayat Raj was formed initially, people's participation was there, democratic decentralization was there. Financial mobilization is given to the hands of state legislature only even today. The state legislature only should decide what is given to the people, and they should only decide whether to give the power to for them to collect octroi and then taxes, polls, all these things. So the financial stability also will not come. So eliminate the option. uh, okay, and you get the answer 1 and 3 only. Okay, next. With reference to Indian economy, consider the following: bank rate, open market operations, public debt, public revenue. Which of the following is the components of monetary policy? What is this monetary policy about? Monetary policy is about basically to maintain the inflation rate. The major thing which they do in the monetary policy is controlling the inflation rate. So in terms of controlling the inflation rate, so what all they will do? Okay, so in terms of controlling the inflation rate, bank rate, definitely repo rate concept, we know that very well. Repo rate, reverse repo is one of the major device in terms of monetary policy. So first option will definitely come. So coming to this, you eliminate option B first. Open market operations. So open market operation is again flow of money and controlling the prices. What is inflation? Increase in the price. So second option will come. But public debt and public revenue is not monetary policy, it is related to the government, it is the work of government. So the option is 1 and 2 only. Okay, yes. See, public debt and public revenue comes under the Ministry of Finance. It comes under fiscal policy, not monetary policy. So fiscal policy means they take care of the finance, the debt, revenue, and then deficit of the government, fiscal deficit of the government. But when you talk about monetary policy, you talk about inflation. Inflation, you talk about repo rate, bank rate, which is nothing but repo rate and reverse repo rate, and you have open market operations where you control the price. So in that, 1 and 2 only is the answer. Okay. With reference to inflation in India, again a question from inflation. Inflation in India, which of the following statement is correct? Controlling the inflation in India is a responsibility of government of India only. Just now we saw that it is the RBI. See, inflation is monetary policy is RBI's work, and then fiscal policy is government's work. Sometimes monetary policy RBI plus government will also work. So first statement is wrong since you are asking the correct. The Reserve Bank of India has no role in controlling the inflation. Both are same statement. See this. Controlling the inflation in India is a responsibility of government only, and Reserve Bank of India has no role. Both are same statement. They just changed the word. So if two statements, if two options are having same meaning, both are wrong. Keep that in mind. Can two options become the answer? No, only one option is the answer. If two options have the same meaning, both the options are wrong, you can readily eliminate them. Decreased money circulation helps in controlling the inflation. Okay, let's keep it. Increased money circulation helps in controlling the inflation. See, when you increase the money circulation, we call it as money pumped into economy. When money pumped into economy, what happens? The money will start increasing the purchasing power of people. Purchasing power increases, the demand increases. When demand increases, we have this demand pull inflation. Fine. So the answer is decreased money. So this decreased money was controlled by these repo rates and reverse repo rates. That is what we saw now. Basic of inflation, if you know, you can answer this. What is the basic of inflation and monetary policy? You answer this question. Clear? How did I come to the conclusion? First and second statement are same. First statement they say government only. Second statement say RBI will not come inside. Both are same. So I am eliminating first and second. Third and fourth option, you know the meaning of inflation. You answer this. That's all. Clear? Yes. Simple. Consider the following countries: China, India, Pakistan, France, Israel. Which among the following are nuclear weapon states as recognized by the Treaty of Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons? So, also known as Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Simply, they are asking you which of the following countries have signed Non-Proliferation Treaty. So, we know very well that India did not sign Non-Proliferation Treaty. So, I am eliminating option 3. So, I am eliminating two options. We know very well that Non-Proliferation Treaty India did not sign. So, I have eliminated. So, 1, 2 only, 2, 4 and 5 only. Okay, in that statement, 5 I know very well Pakistan did not sign, because Pakistan also did not sign, India also did not sign. So, but many countries are supporting India to be involved in nuclear suppliers group, even though it did not sign Non-Proliferation Treaty. So, what China is doing? China is supporting Pakistan. Okay, if India is becoming a member of nuclear suppliers group, Pakistan also should become the member of nuclear suppliers group. They also did not sign Non-Proliferation Treaty, but I will bring them inside. I support them inside if you bring India inside. I know very well Pakistan did not sign. So I'm eliminating fifth option also. I get the answer. Or straight away you can eliminate the fifth option. You eliminate all the options and come straight away to the answer. Clear how I came? I just know I don't know who all signed nuclear suppliers group, but I know international affair between China, India and Pakistan. I answered this. Clear? Yes. See this. The treaty recognizes 5 states only: United States, Russia, United Kingdom, France and China. Also the 5 permanent members of United Nations Security Council. Clear? Yes. The ideal of welfare state in the Indian Constitution is enshrined in preamble, directive principles of state policy, fundamental rights, 7th schedule. So what is 7th schedule? It is related to the 3 list. Yes, fine. Fundamental right, we talk about political democracy, not about economic and social democracy. Welfare state is a concept of economics and society and also environment. So in this preamble, DPSP fundamental rights 7th schedule, in which we talk about welfare state. Directive principles only, we talk about the welfare state. The welfare state itself is the directive principles only. Okay, so this is a straight question. In preamble, we don't talk about welfare state. We talk about sovereignty, socialist, secular. We talk about the quality of our Indian constitution. We talk the quality of country. But the term welfare state is enshrined in the concept of directive principles of state policy only. Okay, next. The substitution of steel for wooden plows in the agricultural production is an example of labor augmenting technological process. See, substitution of steel for wood. Okay, we are substituting steel for wood. Capital augmenting technological process, capital reducing technological process, none of the above. Okay, so labor augmenting, capital reducing. See here the question is related to agricultural production. So what happens when steel is introduced? That is what we should know. So when steel is introduced, it is more reliable than the wood because it is more efficient than the wood. So here you are obviously steel is costlier than wood. Okay, steel is costlier than wood. So what you are doing is you are increasing your capital, you are augmenting your capital to increase the productivity. So it's a capital augmentation. Here you are using this wooden plow is a technological concept, so it comes under capital augmenting technological process. See, labor means instead of using a man, you are using you are using a robot or something. You call it as labor augmenting. Capital reducing means vice versa. Like wood is taken, steel is instead of steel you use wood is capital reducing. You are reducing the capital. But here you are going to a bit costlier product, but which will increase the productivity. Then I call it as capital augmenting technological progress because here it is about technology. Don't worry about technology. All the 3 are related to technology only. Fine. So the answer is B. This is a parliamentary system of government. There is a parliamentary system of government in India because Lok Sabha is elected directly by people. Parliament can amend the constitution. Rajya Sabha cannot be dissolved. Council of Ministers is responsible to Lok Sabha. Fine. So in this question, all the 4 looks like parliamentary system of government. Okay. But what is a major feature of parliamentary system? I would like to tell you one thing. Ambedkar has said one thing. We chose responsibility instead of stability. So responsibility is the major important characteristics of parliamentary system. You understand the major characteristics, the major difference between the parliamentary system and presidential system is the executive is responsible to the Lok Sabha. Why I told you Lok Sabha? Because no confidence motion can be passed only in Lok Sabha. Okay, see, the Lok Sabha is directly elected by people. Even in presidential form, direct election take place. This will not come. Parliament can amend the constitution. This is related to amendment. It doesn't mean about parliament or something. Because in many parliamentary form of government, constitution itself is not there. Written constitution itself is not there in Britain. But still they have parliamentary form of government. The constitution or amendment of constitution does not give us the parliamentary system of government. Rajya Sabha cannot be dissolved as not having anything related with this parliamentary system. But this Council of Ministers responsible to Lok Sabha is the major quality of parliamentary system because in parliamentary system we have responsibility, in presidential system we have stability. So when there was a question asked to when there was a statement given by Ambedkar, he said we chose responsibility instead of stability because it's really okay to have an unstable government, but it is very important that we have a responsible government. If stability is given to a government without responsibility, the government will not be responsible or it will not create good policies to people. So the major concept of parliamentary system lies in the responsibility, that too collective responsibility. That collective responsibility is this concept. Council of Ministers is responsible to Lok Sabha. Clear? See, polity, in terms of polity, you cannot study polity, you should understand polity. Okay, so just watch all my videos. In those videos, I have discussed many important concepts, which even if you study Lakshmikant or you study any material, you won't get. I obviously took resources from all those only. But still, the interaction with polity is more important. Yes, you heard me right. Interaction with polity. You understand every terminology in polity. Okay, so that is one such thing. The parliamentary system of government and presidential system of government varies in one important concept, which is responsibility. Clear? Next question. H1N1 virus, it was, that time's current affair. It is nothing but swine flu. That time swine flu was a very big communicable disease. So that was a very important concept. Okay, yes. With reference to bio-toilets used by Indian Railways, consider the following statement. It was also a current affair at that time, but still relevant. The decomposition of human waste in bio-toilet is initiated by fungal. See, in terms of this decomposition, fungus is not more reliable, but bacteria is more reliable. Keep that in mind. Bacterial inoculum should be the answer. Ammonia and water vapor are the only end products. See, ammonia is NH4, but this is actually, it should be methane or some other gases, not ammonia. So here the answer is D. Okay, it's a basic science question. Neither one nor two. They're asking correct, so neither one nor two. Keep it in mind. Okay, it's filled with bacteria. So anywhere if you see a decomposition concept, you come to fungus also does the decomposition, but bacteria is more reliable than the fungus. It can be controlled. Bacteria can be more controlled than fungus. And here, it's an anaerobic process. So in anaerobic process, you have methane gas only, not ammonia as NH4, but generally organic decomposition releases CH4 only. Okay, so it is a very common science concept, basic science concept. The problem of international liquidity is related to the non-availability of. See, fungal type is found in nature. See, fungal type of decomposition is found in nature. We don't use fungal for literal decomposition process or something. We use fungus for food and we use fungus for various concepts. But fungus is, bacteria is more found to be reliable than compared to fungus. Okay, yes, especially since they are asking bio-toilets used in Indian Railways. In bio-toilets used in Indian Railways, they use bacteria only. That's a current affair too. Okay, next question. The problem of international liquidity. So liquidity means free flow of money, like a liquid, free flow of money. The problem of international liquidity is related to the non-availability of. Fine. So in this question, fine. So liquidity means there is a free flow of money. So related to the availability of how liquidity will be high when dollars and other hard currencies are not available. It goes for liquidity concept. Okay. So goods and services are not available. It doesn't have with liquidity or exportable surplus. It is based on dollars and hard currencies. With reference to fuel cells, see, this was also a current affair at that year, in which hydrogen rich fuel and oxygen are used to generate electricity. So hydrogen rich fuel and oxygen are used to generate electricity. Yes. If pure hydrogen is used as a fuel, the fuel cell emits heat and water as byproducts. Yes, right. In terms of hydrogen, what happens when hydrogen is oxidized, you get water. So first statement is right. Fuel cells can be used for powering buildings and not for small devices like laptops and computers. Okay. So I know the first statement is right. So I'm eliminating this option. Let's take it. Fuel cells produce electricity in the form of alternating current. Fine. See, keep one thing in mind. Alternating, generally when you see cells, batteries or all these concepts, direct current only will be created. Alternating current is created when you use that, shaft concept. So that is a very different concept. Usually chemical process will create, DC only, direct current only. It's a basic thing. and that too in fuel cell they create direct current only. So I'm eliminating third option. Just the basic physics, if I eliminate, I get the answer. I need not worry about others. Clear? Yes. See, difference between fungus and bacteria. Fungus is a different kingdom by itself. Fungi is a different kingdom by itself. So it is similar to it has a structure similar to plant but not plant. It cannot create its own food because it lacks chlorophyll. So what happens? Fungus, what happens? It creates a colony and it feeds on dead and decayed matters. That is what is the function of fungus. So that is fungus. Bacteria is a prokaryotic organism, which is a single cell organism. Fungus sometimes can be single cell. Fungus sometimes can be multicellular. Group of cells can be there. So that is a different concept. Fine. So that is a major difference between these two. Kalamkari painting refers to hand painted cotton textile in South India, handmade drawing on bamboo handicrafts, a block painted wooden cloth in western Himalayan region, a hand painted decorative silk cloth in northwestern India. It's the answer is A. Okay, so again I tell you, so Kalamkari is like it's a very famous fashion as of now. It's a hand painted cotton textile in South India. Okay, it's a very famous fashion statement now. Many people are preferring for Kalamkari. Here they use vegetable colors. That's a major thing. Natural colors, vegetable colors and natural colors. That is a major concept in terms of Kalamkari. Okay. So Kalamkari is a type of Indian folk textile art. It is derived from the Persian language meaning drawing or crafting with pen. So it is an ancient form of painting found in Kalahasti and Machilipatnam in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, the nerve centers of this art continue to be the beehives of Kalamkari activity. Okay, so it's again a GI tag based question. Which one of the following describes the main concept of seed village concept? Okay, fine. So talking about the seed village concept. Encouraging the farmers to use their own farm seeds and discouraging them to buy from other seeds. Okay. Involving the farmers of training in quality seed production and thereby to make availability of quality seeds to others at appropriate time and affordable cost. Enmarking villages exclusively for the production of certified seeds. Identify the entrepreneurs in village and providing them technology and finance to set up seed companies. See here, first statement, encouraging the farmers to use their own farm seeds. No, that is not definitely the answer because it is not conceptually right. Encouraging the farmers to use their own farm seeds and discouraging them to buy the seeds from others. These kind of negative statements, if you see, you can eliminate them. Discouraging them to buy the seeds. We encourage, we don't discourage. We create some motivation camps or something like that. But so this will not come. Involving the farmers in training in quality seed production and thereby available. Yes, this is the answer. Okay, this is the answer. And the seed village concept was a current affair also. Okay, yes. Persistent deficit budget year after year. Which of the actions can be taken by the government to reduce the deficit? So, deficit budget is there. Budget deficit means revenue is less than the expenditure. It is called as deficit budget. Simple. Revenue is less than the expenditure. So what we should do, we should increase the revenue or we should reduce the expenditure. That's all, simple. So if you want to reduce the deficit, you should do these two. Either you increase the revenue or increase the expenditure, or you do both. Let's see. Reducing the revenue expenditure, introducing new welfare schemes, rationalizing subsidies, expanding industries. Fine. So reducing the revenue expenditure. So if you reduce the revenue expenditure, what happens is that you won't get the revenue properly. Introducing new welfare scheme. If you introduce new welfare scheme, what will happen is that, okay, reducing the revenue expenditure. So you should actually, yes, right, you should reduce the revenue expenditure. So revenue expenditure means one-time expenditure. One-time expenditure is revenue expenditure. Capital expenditure is usually we call it as investments or You do an expenditure so that you get the revenue, periodically is called as capital expenditure. So the reducing the revenue expenditure is like one time expenditure, so you should definitely reduce it, right? Next is introducing new welfare scheme. So if you introduce new welfare scheme, what will happen? Welfare schemes are all expenditure. You should reduce the expenditure or increase the expenditure. Reduce the expenditure. First is right. Introducing new welfare scheme will increase the expenditure, so this is wrong. Next, rationalizing subsidies. Obviously, subsidies are all expenditures. That they are all come under the concept of revenue expenditure. Subsidies are given are the cost bear by the government. So it's a one-side flow of money. Because of that, government will not get any revenue. So it is a revenue expenditure, not a capital expenditure. So this statement is right. Expanding industries. See, industries comes under the concept of capital expenditure. So you invest this year. So next year what happens? You get revenue from that. Okay. So this expanding the industries is a form of increasing the revenue, not decreasing the revenue. Keep that in mind. I'm repeating. So in this, I'm just, uh, I'm just repeating again. So here they are talking about deficit budget. You have to reduce the deficit in the budget. So in a budget, you have revenue, you have expenditure. So you should increase the revenue and decrease the expenditure. Clear? This is what we know for sure. So reducing revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure is a one-time expenditure. So this statement is right. Introducing new welfare scheme. Welfare schemes are also expenditure only. So that is also here introducing means it will increase the expenditure. The second statement is wrong. Rationalizing subsidies are also like decreasing the expenditure only. That will be right. But expanding the industries, they are capital expenditure, which is like they are the means of increasing the revenue. So when you increase the revenue, the deficit only will reduce. So the fourth statement is right. So here what they're asking can be taken to reduces 1 and 3 only. Okay. Yes. Okay. Am I audible to you all? Yes. Am I audible to you all? Can you all hear me? Yes, fine. See, next question. Which are the following? How much questions we have? Let's see. Okay, we'll finish it very soon. 1 more hour maximum. Yes. So which of the following have been accorded the geographical indication status? So this was again the current affairs. So it was that year's current affairs. So Tirupati Laddu, Banaras brocades and saris, Rajasthani Dhal Bati Charma. So that year what happened? They gave this geographical indication status to Banarasi brocades and Banaras brocades and saris and Tirupati Laddu. So it was a current affair that year. Okay. Yes. With reference to Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency, Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency Limited. Which of the following is the correct statement? It's a public limited government company. See the term Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency Limited. Fine. So it's a public development company. Okay. It's a non-banking financial company. Development agency. When you see the term development agency, it means it is related to some concept of funding. You understand? United Nations Development Agency, these kind of Indian Renewable Development Agency. If you see these kind of statements, they give the fund. That is the meaning. Clear? So here also they give the fund. So yes, it's a non-banking financial company. So first is Development Agency Limited. So public limited. That's why I tell you read the question carefully. Even though you don't know about Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency, I'm telling you how you can come out with the answer. Fine. So here both the statements are right. Both the statements are reasonable, and this is the answer. But still, I will give you this PDF. Don't worry. So in that you have this mini Ratna award given to this IREDA. Okay. So energy forever. That's the motto. Energy forever is the motto. Clear? See, unless it is a government company, you can't have the term Indian. Okay, it should be a government public company, public sector. Only then you can claim the name Indian. Otherwise, you can't claim the name Indian. So the government company is right. And here itself they have given limited. So public limited government company is right. Development, you see the term development, which means they are giving some fund. So it's a non-banking financial company, right? Clear? Yes. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana has been launched for. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, again it was a current affair. So financial inclusion of the country, that is under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, people opened bank accounts. So that when bank account is opened, financial inclusion, people will be included inside the financial stream of our country. So it will be easy for direct benefit transfer and many benefits given to the people. So that was the financial inclusion in the country. State question. Okay. Non-banking financial company is a company which does financial works like gives loans, gives credits, and then all these things, but it's not a bank. Okay, it has a limit. All these concepts. Fine. So go and study about NBFC. So just go and study what are all the qualities, or better you go and study about bank versus NBFC. Okay. So non-banking financial companies are, they are not banks. They are not coming under the concept of banks, but they do the financial things like give loans, credits, and then all these funding purpose, all these things they do. That's called as, and then transfer of money, all these things. With reference to 14th Finance Commission, which of the following statement is correct? It increased the shares of states in the central divisible pool from 32% to 42%. Okay. It has made recommendations concerning sector-specific grants. So again, this 14th Finance Commission was that year's current affairs. So now we have the new finance report. So this will not be relevant. So I'm skipping this question. Okay, because now we have this new things. Fort Lessa Declaration, very important. What is this Fort Lessa Declaration? Is like it comes under the concept of BRICS Summit. It was a current affair again. Okay, yes. Fort Lessa Declaration is in this BRICS Summit. It was a current affair that year. So very important concept. Decrease in tax to GDP ratio of a country indicates what? Okay. So decrease in tax to GDP ratio of a country indicates which are the following: slowing economic growth rates, less equitable distribution of national income. So in GDP, they're asking this tax to GDP ratio. So in GDP, what is the ratio of tax and GDP? So if the GDP is there but tax is decreasing, what are all the concepts? So neither one nor two, because taxation is different. So taxation is like what to say, it is based on the collection process. Fine. So GDP is a different concept. So but whether fall in tax collection is proportionate to fall in GDP cannot be known without the knowledge of on ground statistics. What is the reason of reduction in tax? That can be based on people evading taxes. So that evading taxes have no linkage with slowing economic growth rates or national income. Okay. So this is the concept. A decrease in tax to GDP ratio is not having any linkage with economic growth rates or less distribution of national income. It's a completely different concept. Okay. Yes. In South Atlantic and Southeastern Pacific region, in tropical latitude, cyclones do not origin. See, again, I'm telling you these kind of question, think and answer. They're talking about South Atlantic. So, talking about in the middle, South Atlantic and Southeastern Pacific region. Southeastern Pacific region. They're asking why tropical cyclones do not originate. Okay. Sea surface temperatures are low. Intertropical convergence zone seldom occurs. Coriolis force is weak. Absence of land in those regions. So when does cyclone occur? When does cyclone occur is when there is a low pressure area and high pressure area. So the wind moves inside the low pressure area. So we call it as cyclones. So when there is an absence of low pressure area, we don't have this cyclone occurring. So what is the reason for this? Sea surface temperature are low. So what happens? Where does the cyclone form? The cyclone forms on land or ocean. So in India, we have most of the cyclones formed this side. Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea. So in India, mostly cyclones form here and they move into the land. So what happened? When the sea surface temperature is very high, there will be a low pressure area in that particular place. Okay, so the sea is a very large area. So in one particular place, what happened? The surface temperature is very less. Suddenly there is a creation of low pressure area. So wind from all the direction move inside. That since it from all the direction is moving inside, along with the Coriolis force, it starts rotating. So we call it as a cyclone. Okay, so north and south the direction varies. Clockwise, anti-clockwise, there is all difference. But the major reason is the sea surface temperature should be high for cyclone to form. Absence of land doesn't matter because absence of land is different concept. When absence of land is there, you don't have this planetary means monsoon will not be much compared to monsoon will not be much because for monsoon we need land and sea difference in temperature, sea breeze, land breeze, that's a different concept. But for this concept, the ocean temperature, the sea surface temperature should be very high that suddenly in a place you form a low pressure area. So this concept you all know, I guess I'm repeating. Temperature is high, pressure reduces. Temperature is less, pressure increases. So high temperature, low pressure. Low temperature, high. This is what you should keep it in mind. Keep this alone in mind because your complete climatology rotates about this only. Climatology, and then you have this oceanography. Everything is completely based on this concept. High temperature, low pressure, low temperature, high pressure. Planetary winds, everything. This, if you keep it in mind, you can answer. Fine. So when surface temperature is low, you don't have the low pressure. The pressure is high. So you don't have the concept of cyclone over there. Okay. Yes. Next. Which are the following pairs of states in India indicates the easternmost and westernmost state? Easternmost state is what? Arunachal Pradesh. So Arunachal Pradesh, Rajasthan, okay. Arunachal Pradesh and Gujarat is the answer. This is the straight away NCRT question. Do not think much. Many people will think about Rajasthan. No, they think about Arunachal Pradesh, straight Rajasthan. No, they're talking about the easternmost and westernmost. They're not talking about the straight line concept. So you have Gujarat here. You have Arunachal Pradesh here. But this is the easternmost end and Gujarat is the westernmost end of India. So it is a straight question from NCRT. Consider the following statements regarding the DPSP. The principles spell out the socio-economic democracy. I already told you the political democracy is ensured. The political democracy ensured in the fundamental rights. This spell out the economic and social democracy. Yes. The provisions contained in the principles are not enforceable by any court. Right. It can be done by. One second. I'm really sorry. See, very clear. Think and answer this question. They are asking about justiciable or what you should see. Okay, so first statement is right. Here, I will tell you the statement is right, but still what can confuse you? Number one, the principles are not enforceable by any court is right, but the principles can be enforced by parliament if they are creating any law. If they are saying it cannot be enforceable by any law, the statement will become wrong. Since they are talking about enforceable by any court, the statement is right. The statement clearly means they are non-justiciable. Instead of giving you non-justiciable, they know very well that you all know the term non-justiciable. But this by any court you will get confused. The provisions contained in principles are not enforceable by any court, but are enforceable by parliament by bringing any parliamentary law. Okay, so this parliamentary law can be questioned in the court, but not the directive principle straight away. This directive principle is used by the court just to check the constitutionality. That doesn't mean it is enforceable. Keep that in mind. So both 1 and 2 are right. Clear? Next. Index of 8 core industries. Which of the following is given the highest weight? Yes. So electricity generation is given the highest weight. That was that year's current affair. Simple. It's a current affair that year. Okay. Which one of the following national park is unique, being a SAM with floating vegetation? Cable Lamjo National Park, because that year it became very famous. Manipur, Cable Lamjo National Park, dancing deer. Next year itself we got question related to dancing deer. Okay, dancing deer is endemic to Manipur. Yes, dancing deer is endemic to Manipur. That is why it is the state animal of Manipur. Next year we got question about that. Okay, yes. National Innovation Foundation India. National Innovation Foundation India. NIF is an autonomous body of Department of Science and Technology under the central government. It's an initiative to strengthen the highly advanced scientific research in India's premier scientific institutions in collaboration with highly advanced foreign institutions. It was a current affair. So what is this NIF? It conducts a biennial national competition for grassroots green technologies. It's not a initiative to strengthen. They conduct competitions. Okay, so the first statement is right. It's again current affair. Current affairs are like you should study and answer. Yes, this is like very important. What can be the impact of excessive or inappropriate use of nitrogen fertilizers in agriculture? Proliferation of nitrogen fixing microorganism in soil can occur. Okay. Increase in acidity of soil can take place. Leaching of nitrate to the groundwater. Definitely 3 will come. So when we excessively use or inappropriately use nitrogen fertilizers, leaching of groundwater can definitely occur. So option 3 will come. So you have 3 options here. Okay. One more thing. Nitrogen fixing microorganism. What is the function of nitrogen fixing organism? They take the atmospheric nitrogen and fix it to the soil. That is the function of nitrogen fixing microorganism. See, you are using excessive nitrogen, which means the soil itself has very high nitrogen. So you need nitrogen fixing bacterium or nitrogen freeing bacterium or nitrogen freeing microorganism. Since nitrogen is very high, the organism which feeds on nitrogen only will get created, not the one which gets nitrogen from the air. The first statement is wrong. You eliminate the first statement, you get the answer. Okay, so increase in acidity of soil can take place. Yes, that's right. Increase in acidity can take place because nitrogen is given in terms of urea and ammonia. You form uric acid, all these things. See, nitrogen combines with water, it forms uric acid, and then nitric acid, HNO3. All these things can form. So it will lead to the increase in acidity of soil. Clear? Yes. With reference to International Union for Conservation of Nature. See, I will tell you one thing. So go to my special class. In that special class, I have in the last month search for important data to be remembered. Why I am telling you this special class is that in that I have clearly explained about all the important international organization, environmental organization. I have also explained what data to be remembered related to that international organization. If you have seen that, this question also I have discussed in that particular special class. I am discussing again. That, I mean, 2 videos will be there. Just watch those videos. You can almost answer 80% to 70 to 80% of environment based questions from that, related to this international organization and legislation kind of concept. Just go to my profile, just go to Unacademy and search for R Suba Keerthana. So in that, if you go to my profile, you will have the concept of plus. In that, under this plus, you will have special classes. In that special classes, you go to see all. In that see all, you will have important data to be remembered from environment. Please go to that video. I'm telling you, that video will definitely help you to especially to solve all these. I have discussed about BirdLife International. I have discussed about Forest Carbon Partnership Facility. I have discussed about Biocarbon Fund Initiative, IUCN, everything, Ramsar Convention, everything I have discussed. Please do watch before going to the examination, preliminary examination. Don't miss that video, because I have also discussed Environmental Protection Act, Wildlife Protection Act, Water Act, Air Act, everything I have discussed. Please do watch that video. Two videos will be there, I think. Please do watch those videos. It will be definitely helpful in solving all these questions. Okay, yes. So with reference to International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources and the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, they're talking about two things. One is IUCN and CITES. Which of the following statement are correct? IUCN is an organ of, no, IUCN is an private, non-governmental organization. CITES is an international agreement between governments. That is right. But IUCN is not an organ of United Nations. The first statement is wrong. IUCN runs thousands of field projects around the world to manage better natural environment. Okay. See, first of all, I know that IUCN is not an organ of United Nations. If I eliminate that only, I get the answer. Okay, CITES is legally binding on the states that have joined, but this convention does not take place on national laws. Keep one thing in mind. What does legally binding means? Legally binding means if a country is signing a legally binding convention, which means the country should definitely create a national law from that particular framework. Okay, so third statement is right. So the answer is 2 and 3 only. Clear? It's a voluntary organization, not an agency of United Nations. You know that alone, you get the answer. Please do watch those videos, guys. I'm not just telling you. It's recorded. It's free, and please do make use of all those resources. That is what I'll tell you. The resources I am just shaping it for you, and I'm giving you. Please do use this resources. Okay. Yes. The fair and remunerative price of sugarcane is approved by. Okay, fine. See, whenever we talk about these MSP and then all these price related concept, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs only will come into play. Okay, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs only can determine these prices concept. Okay, so keep that in mind. What explains the eastward flow of the equatorial countercurrent? Okay. So the convergence of two equatorial zones. So what explains the eastward flow of equatorial countercurrent? The equatorial countercurrent are driven by a distinct surface wind patterns in tropics. Strong westward winds result in westward flow in tropical Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. But several hundred miles north of equator, winds are much weaker in comparison. So what happens? It's nothing but convergence of two equatorial current take place. In that, eastern current is stronger. So what happened? The counter current, the convergence both result and they move forward in east. Okay, so that is a major concept. Places of pilgrimage: Sri Sailam, Omkareshwar, Pushkar. So what is this? Solution is one only, Nallamala Hills. Sri Sailam is in Nallamala Hills. It's a geography based question. So Omkareshwar, where is Omkareshwar? It's in river Narmada, flows around the Mandata hill. That's in different place. And Pushkar is in Rajasthan, Ajmer. Okay, they have given Mahadeo Hills. Mahadeo Hills is in Madhya Pradesh. It's a geography based concept. Okay, next. With reference to Rowlatt Act, which of the following statement is correct? The Rowlatt Act was based on the recommendation of Sedition Committee, right? Rowlatt Satyagraha, Gandhiji tried to use the Home Rule League. Okay, so 1915 Home Rule League started. So it became very famous in 1916. Rowlatt Satyagraha took place in 1919. So okay. Demonstrations against the Simon Commission coincided with the Rowlatt Satyagraha. See, Simon Commission 1928, nearly 10 years. So third option is definitely not right. You eliminate the third option, you have one only, 1 and 2 only. So Home Rule League, many people will think that 1916 it actually was over. No, Home Rule League was used by Gandhiji in 1919 also. Okay, so Home Rule League became very famous, and in 1917 Annie Besant became the first women Congress president. Okay, so second is right. 1916 it started, it reached its peak, then it was present but was not much spoken. Fine. So many people will think that that might not be the answer and many went for one only. But though it was in 1916 reached its peak, it was not closed, it was there, Home Rule League was there for very long moment. Even the term, the name was also changed as Swatantra later. Okay, yes. Among the following which were frequently mentioned in the news for the outbreak of Ebola virus. Okay, so Guinea, Syria, Liberia, Syria and Jordan, and then Philippines, Papua New Guinea, Jamaica. See, Ebola virus came very famous in Africa. In Africa only Ebola virus started. Yes, in that statement, Syria and Jordan is in Asia and Europe. Philippines, Papua New Guinea, you find it in the Southeast Asia side. Jamaica, Haiti, Suriname, you find it in South America. You just know the continent. Syria and Jordan, you find it in Eurasia concept. Guinea, Liberia is in Africa. Philippines, Papua New Guinea, Southeast Asia. We know that very well. So the answer is B. You just know the countries which continent they belong to. That's all. Nothing much. Okay. Yes. With reference to fly ash produced by powder plants using the coal as fuel, which are the following? Fly ash can be used in the production of bricks, right? Fly ash can be used as a replacement for some of the Portland cement, right? Fly ash is made up of silicon dioxide and calcium oxide only. So, in science and technology, if you see the term only, in science and technology, I'm not talking about every other place. In science and technology, if you see about only, be very careful. And they also say that does not contain any toxic elements. If they do not contain any toxic elements, why are they becoming a very big problem? Why should be concerned about? Obviously, they contain some toxic element and they have silicon oxide, calcium oxide, and more than that. So the third option is wrong. So the answer is 1 and 2 only. Clear? Yes. See, coal including arsenic, beryllium, cadmium, barium, chromium, copper, lead, mercury, toxic, molybdenum, nickel, radium. See, radium and all is there, selenium, thorium, uranium is there, radioactive, vanadium, zinc, etc. It can contain toxic trace elements in coal. Arsenic is a heavy metal toxic element. Many things are present. See, simple. If it is not toxic, why should we be concerned about and why UPSC will ask question? You understand? Simple. So I am eliminating third option. First option and second option I know very well because fly ash was a very important current affair at that year. Okay, so it caused many air pollution. It caused various health effects. All these concepts. Next, with reference to dugong. So dugong was sea cow, a mammal found in India. Which are the following? It's a herbivorous marine mammal. Yes, it feeds on seagrass. It is found along the entire coast of India. No, it is not found along the entire coast of India. It is given legal protection under the Schedule 1. That's right. So the answer is 1 and 3 only. It is not found on the entire coast on India. It is found in this Gujarat coast. See this. Found only in the Gujarat coast, Gulf of Kutch, Gulf of Mannar, Park Bay and Andaman Nicobar. So in the eastern coast. So you have this Sri Lanka here. So you have it here, and then you have this, in this Gulf of Mannar, Park Strait. Here you have in this region, particular region, and here in Gujarat Gulf of Kutch. These two places only you can see dugong. So I just know that very well. It is not found along the entire coast of India, and it is definitely given Schedule 1 wildlife protection. So yes, so that is the current affair because that year I think it came into this wildlife protection Schedule 1. That is why they have asked this question in the UPSC. Which of the following was the critics, economic critics of colonialism in India? So obviously we know Dadabhai Nehruji who wrote about this, drain of wealth theory. But Subramania Iyer and R.C. Dutt, Subramania Iyer started the Hindu and R.C. Dutt, both these people were also economic, critics of colonialism in India. Okay, so keep that in mind. See, R.C. Dadabhai Nehruji, R.C. Dutt, Ranade, Gokhale, G. Subramania Iyer were among those who grounded Indian nationalism firmly on the foundation of anti-imperialism, fashioning the first economic critique of colonialism. Okay, Dadabhai Nehruji, everybody will answer, but G. Subramaniar and R.C. Dutt, someone will think, but actually, yes, they were also one of the important economic critics of colonialism in India. Okay, next. Global Economic Prospects Report periodically. Okay, so I told you again, I'm telling you, global economic prospect is the answer. So global, it's a global term. Asian Development Bank, regional. European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, regional. US Federal Reserve Bank, it's a central bank. Central bank of a country. Is RBI releasing any of these kind of reports? No, it's a central bank. It's a central bank of United States of America. C will not come. So the answer is World Bank. And also it was in current affair. I'm just helping you to eliminate, but it was in current affair also. I'm just helping you how to eliminate. Asian Development Bank, regional. European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, about Europe. They might talk about some economic concept. I mean, they might talk about some finance or trade kind of concept, but global economic prospects report periodically should be delivered by World Bank. Especially US Federal Reserve Bank cannot be the answer. It's a central bank. Central bank of that particular country. It concentrates on that particular country only, not this. They don't release any data related to global concept. Okay. When Reserve Bank of India reduces the statutory liquidity by 50 basis points, which of the following is likely to happen? Statutory liquidity ratio. So liquidity 50 basis points. India GDP growth rate increases drastically. Foreign institutional investments may bring more capital into a country. Scheduled commercial banks may cut their lending rates. It may drastically reduces the liquidity to the banking system. Okay, so see what is this statutory liquidity ratio is. How much amount should be given outside is the statutory liquidity ratio. Simply I'm explaining what is the statutory liquidity ratio means. It have to park lesser money with RBI in form of security, cash, etc. so that the money will be given to the RBI and the money cannot be sent outside. So what happened? The scheduled commercial banks should give their money to RBI and they cannot lend it outside. So what happened? They cut their lending rates. That is the answer. Okay. So this is the concept. That is the thing. Yes. With reference to the use of nanotechnology in health sector, which are the following statement? Nanotechnology. Fine. So nanotechnology, it can be used in drug delivery. Yes, recently nanobots are used for targeted drug delivery. So first statement is right. Nanotechnology can largely contribute to gene therapy. That is also right. The answer is both 1 and 2. It's a simple nanotechnology based concept. Okay. Yes. In India, markets in agricultural products are regulated under. Fine. So, Essential Commodities Act of 1955, Agricultural Produce Markets Committee Act enacted by states, Agricultural Produce Grading and Marketing Act, Food Products Order 1956 and Meat and Food Products Act. We're talking about agricultural products. So, I'm eliminating Food Products Order Act. And then Agricultural Produce Grading and Marketing. Here they are talking about in India, markets and agricultural products are regulated by. Okay. So, the answer is Essential Commodities Act is different. Agricultural produce grading and marketing is a different concept. It is related to the quality. We are talking in general in markets and agricultural products are regulated by Agricultural Produce Market Committee Act enacted by states. So they only have the power in terms of regulating the agricultural products. Okay. Which one of the following is the national aquatic animal of India? Gangetic dolphin. That was declared very recently, so it came in the current affair. Okay. It is in the Schedule 1 for the Wildlife Protection Act. Keep it in mind. Okay. With reference to Congress Socialist Party, Consider the following statement. It advocated the boycott of British goods and evasion of taxes. It wanted to establish the dictatorship of proletariat. It advocated separate electorate for minorities and oppressed classes. Okay. See, Congress Socialist Party. So, what is this Congress Socialist Party? They advocated decentralized socialism in which cooperatives, trade unions, independent farmers, and local authorities will hold a substantial share. So they did not talk about, this first advocated boycott of British goods is Swadeshi and non-cooperation. Swadeshi and non-cooperation were all the functions of Congress and Gandhiji and people. So this will not come. It wanted to establish the dictatorship of proletariat. Obviously, no. It advocated the separate electorate. No, their function was socialist party, and they worked in the formation of Marxism and reformist social democracy. They wanted a different concept, not that. Okay, so the answer is none. These questions are like, unless you have studied about them, these are all riskier questions. Okay, so these kind of questions are like sometimes risk, so it's better not to take this. You can second statement you can eliminate, so you have three only or none, but three only. It advocated the separate electorate for minorities and oppressed classes. Might be, might not be. Unless you study the Congress Socialist Party, you don't know. So these kind of questions you can keep it as a reserved questions, which you take the risk later. Okay, unless and until you study the Congress Socialist Party. Okay, yes. Fine. The Rajya Sabha has no power either to reject or to amend money bill. Right. They are asking about correct. Please look at that every question. The Rajya Sabha cannot vote on demand for grants. Okay. Rajya Sabha cannot discuss the annual. See, discussion part, Rajya Sabha has, Rajya Sabha has the power in discussing everything. So they cannot amend or they cannot reject, but that doesn't mean they cannot discuss. So you can readily eliminate option 3. It should be 1 only and 1 and 2 only. So in terms of demand for grants, Rajya Sabha, yes. So in demand for grants, and then in terms of money bill, Rajya Sabha can only discuss, they cannot vote. So the answer is 1 only. Sorry, 1 and 2 only. The second statement is right, 1 and 2 only. Clear? See this, they cannot discuss the annual financial statement is nothing but budget. So they cannot discuss this is completely wrong. Rajya Sabha has the power to discuss everything. Discussion is not at all curtailed. It's not like Rajya Sabha should not discuss at all. It's completely wrong. You can readily eliminate. 1 only, 1 and 2 only. Demand for grants, Rajya Sabha cannot, because budget and demand for grants is an exclusive right of Lok Sabha. Exclusive privilege of Lok Sabha. Fine, budget is introduced in Lok Sabha and it's a privilege, especially for demand for grants, is only voted in Lok Sabha. Okay, next. Yes, Government of India Act 1919 clearly defined the separation of power between the judiciary and legislature, jurisdiction of central and provincial governments, power of Secretary of State for India and Viceroy. None of the above. The option is B. Because the 1919 only they brought this bicameral concept. Okay, so the answer is jurisdiction between the central and provincial government. They created two subject. So they created reserved subject and transferred subject. Reserved subject were with the central government, that is the viceroy. Transfer subject was given to the provincial governments. The provincial governments are transfer subject. We did not have power at all. Okay, so that is the major concept here. Yes, see this reserved and transferred subject, which is known as diarchy. Very important. Diarchy is a major term. Next. Consumer price index number for the industrial workers. Consumer price index number for the, what is this? Industrial workers. So no, Reserve Bank of India definitely not. Department of Personnel and Training, no, but they're talking about workers. We are not talking about skilled laborers or training or something. So the answer is the Labor Bureau. Okay, industrial workers. But consumer price, so you might get, confused with Department of Economic Affairs. No, here we are talking about workers, so the Labor Bureau should be the answer. Okay, next. Modern scientific research. Consider the following statement about ice cube, a particle detector located at South Pole, which was recently in news. It is the world's largest neutrino detector, encompassing a cubic kilometer of ice. It is a powerful telescope to search for dark matter. It is buried deep in ice. So answer is all the above. Again, it was a current affair. Okay, the answer is all the above, current affair. Agreement on agriculture, agreement on the application of sanitary and phytosanitary measures, peace clause appear in the news frequently. Agreement on agriculture, agreement on application of sanitary and phytosanitary measures, peace clause. So it's the World Trade Organization. Again, current affairs. See, current affair I'm not explaining because that was that year's current affair. Some current affairs are not relevant today. What are all the relevant current affairs I'm explaining? Okay, non-relevant current affairs I'm not explaining. We need not waste time on that. We just have to see the strategy and we just have to see the important concept. Okay. The reference to near field communication, NFC. See, yesterday's class I told you important technologies, most used technologies will be asked. Say, especially now we are using this card. You have this POS and you just keep the card and it gets paid. So NFC is something very important. It is a contactless communication technology that uses electromagnetic radio fields. In terms of NFC, what happens is that you need not touch, like two cards will be there, NFC cards or mobile phones. If you bring them together, it gets connected. So first statement is right, it's contactless, you need not touch. NFC is designed for the use by devices which can be at a distance of even a meter from each other. Yes. So when you are talking about any object, anything like wireless technology, you should know the range. Okay. In terms of NFC, I told you should bring it closer. Okay. So obviously 1 meter is a very big distance. I'm eliminating 2. So if I eliminate 2, I eliminate these two things. NFC can use encryption when sensitive information. That's right. Okay. C is right. Clear? Next. There are Golan Heights. Golan Heights is sometimes seen in news is related to Middle East. Okay, so it's again current affairs at that. Golan Heights attack in Syria. So it's related to Syria. Convertibility of rupee implies being able to convert rupee notes into gold, allowing the value of rupee to be fixed by market forces, freely permitting the conversion of rupee to other currencies and vice versa, developing an international markets for currencies. Simply convertibility of rupees, permitting the conversion of rupee to other currencies and vice versa. That's a very simple question. Okay, very simple question. Convertibility of a money means how much is the value for other money, dollar value of rupee, like that. Middle Indian state, present region. Champaka, Central India. Durgara, Jammu. Kuluta, Malabar. So the answer is 2 only. Durgara is Jammu. But Champaka, where is Champaka? Champaka is in Himachal Pradesh. Durgara is in Jammu. Trigarta is Jalandhar. Kulu, Himachal Pradesh. And Kumaon and Garhwal is in the Kumaon, Garhwal are like, the present day Uttarakhand. Okay, you can see these places there. Vamsadhara, Indravati, Pranahita, Pennar. Which are the tributaries of Godavari? So it's D 2 and 3 only. 2 and 3 only. Pennar is in Tamil Nadu. So if you eliminate that, you eliminate 1, 2 and 3, 2 and 3 only. Vamsadhara, you can be seeing it in the different place. So left tributaries, I have given you the list of tributaries. Go watch them. When a bill is referred to a joint sitting both the houses of the parliament, it has to be passed by simple majority. Keep that in mind. Very, very important. In terms of two houses, when joint sitting takes place, only simple majority is needed. Keep that in mind. Okay? Very, very important. Okay. Am I audible to you all? Fine. See, keep this in mind, guys. I'm repeating. In joint sitting, It's simple majority, always simple majority, because I'll tell you one more thing. When it comes to joint sitting, the bill will definitely get passed if Lok Sabha has passed the bill already. So when there is a tie, okay, when there is a tie between two people, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha versus Rajya Sabha, there is a tie and it comes to the voting. When Lok Sabha has already opposed it, Rajya Sabha only has proposed it, which means there is a possibility that it can pass the bill or it can get cancelled. But when Lok Sabha has passed the bill, but Rajya Sabha has rejected, but it came to the joint sitting, mostly the bill will get passed because it is only simple majority and Lok Sabha is a majority. You know that very well. Simple majority is like 50 percentage plus 1. That's all. So that's very important concept. Clear? Which one of the following regions of India has a combination of mangrove forest, evergreen forest, deciduous forest? Andaman and Nicobar. No doubt at all. Okay. North coastal Andhra Pradesh, southwest Bengal. See, north coastal Andhra Pradesh, you don't have evergreen forest. You have deciduous forest, mangrove forest. Okay. Southwest Bengal, you have mangrove forest, deciduous forest, not evergreen forest. Southern Saurashtra is like Gujarat, Gujarat part. So in Gujarat part, you don't have evergreen forest for sure. But Andaman Nicobar, you have mangrove on the coastal, and then you have deciduous forest, and then you have evergreen forest. So this is the correct thing. Andaman and Nicobar. Which of the following kingdoms are associated with life of Buddha? So the answer is 3 and 4 only. I'll tell you why. They're asking about life of Buddha. So in that concept, Kosala and Magadha only will come. Avanti and Gandhara will not come. Gandhara is in the present day Pakistan, that side. Okay, so you won't get that. No, Buddha's life was there in this northern eastern part. So this part. So if you have India like this, so India like this part only you had Buddha's life. So in that, if you see Kosala and Magadha will come, Gandhara and Avanti was here. Avanti is in the southern part. So it will be in this place. So these two only will come. Map, again map. Okay. See this. Mahada, Kosala, Vaishali, Vaji, etc. were the kingdoms, regions that were wandering Buddha covered relentlessly. Okay. Which are the following associated with the issue of controlling and phasing out of the use of ozone depleting substances? Ozone depleting substances, Montreal Protocol, no doubt. Nagoya Protocol is related to Convention on Biological Diversity. Kyoto Protocol, greenhouse. Okay, Bretton Woods Conference is completely related to IMF and World Bank. That is where this IMF and World Bank came. It's an economic concept. Montreal Protocol straight away with ozone. You need not think at all. It's a straight away question. The arrival of Babur to India led to the introduction of, okay. The introduction of arch and dome, yes. Establishment of Timurid dynasty, definitely yes. Because Babur, claimed to be claimed to be a person of Timurid dynasty, yes. On the mother side, he was from Mongolian, Genghis Khan side. But his father's side, he was from Timurian dynasty only. Okay, the answer is 3 only. The option is B. See, Chinese gunpowder came into India in the mid 14th century only, and then which was introduced by Mongols, and then all this concept. Yes, the government of India has established Niti Aayog to praise planning commission. So that year only it came. So it was a concept. Rio plus 20 often mentioned in news. See, Rio plus 20 is Earth Summit took place in 1992. Rio plus 20 is in 2012. Exactly again in Rio, the summit took place after 20 years. That is called as Rio plus 20. It is the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development. Maybe. Ministerial meeting World Trade, no. Intergovernmental panel on climate change, no. It is a conference on member country on biological diversity, no. The answer is A. Clear? What is Rio plus 20? The Earth Summit took place in 1992 in Rio, exactly after 20 years. That is why it is called as Rio plus 20. It took place again in Rio, which was based on the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development. They started talking about sustainable development in 2012. That is why now we mostly talk about sustainable development. Okay. The executive power of union in India is vested in Prime Minister. See, in our country, no single person is vested with power. Keep that in mind. Prime Minister is just first among equal. He is not, the concept of like the vested. It's vested in the Council of Ministers. The executive power of India is vested in President and Council of Ministers. It is not a single person. The first statement is wrong. The Prime Minister is the ex officio chairman of Civil Services Board. That's right. Cabinet Secretary is the ex officio member, and Cabinet Secretary is the ex officio member. That is why I always tell you people, clear your examination very fast. I mean very soon, as soon as possible, so that when you get retired, you can become Cabinet Secretary. Because Cabinet Secretary is the head of all bureaucrats in our country. Because he is the ex officio chairman of Civil Services Board. Okay, not UPSC, Union Public Service Commission is different. We call it a civil services examination and don't think it's UPSC. Civil Services Board is Cabinet Secretary is the head, because he is the head, literally the head of all the bureaucrats in our country. So the answer is neither one nor two. Okay, yes. The term Goldilocks zone is often seen in the news, is search of Earth-like planets. It was current affairs at that year again. Okay. Who of the following organized a march on Tanjore coast to break salt law? See, Rajagopalachari. Tanjore ghost is nothing but this Vedaranyam. When Gandhiji did Dandi March, parallelly in many places civil disobedience movement took place. One such movement took place in Tamil Nadu. So that was under Rajagopalachari. C. Rajagopalachari, also called as Rajaji. Okay. Who of the following founded a new city of the south bank of tributary to river Krishna and undertook to rule his new kingdom as the agent of deity to whom all the land of south of river Krishna was supposed to belong? So it is Harihara 1. So it's again a history, ancient history question. So he was the founder of Vijayanagar Empire. Okay, so valley of Tungabhadra river. So he was the founder of in Vijayanagar Empire. We all know Krishnadeva Raya, but who was the founder of Vijayanagar Empire is Harihara. Okay, so that is the thing. So this is the important concept. Consider following statement. The first woman president of Indian National Congress, I just told you, Annie Besant. Because Annie Besant 1917. 1916. Okay, 19. Wait. Sorry. Only present in 1917 only. 1917 only. Okay, only present in 1917 only, because 1916 Lucknow Pact took place. That was a different person. 1917 only. The first Muslim president of Badruddin Tyabji is right. But Sarojini Naidu was only there in 1925. She was not in, before that Annie Besant was the women president. So first statement is wrong, second statement is right. Okay, yes. See, again, important data to be remembered in modern India. Go to my special class. I have discussed important Congress sessions. Just study those Congress sessions. That is more than enough to answer any questions from Indian National Congress sessions. Please do go and watch that special class. Okay, it's free and recorded. Please do feel free to make use of it. Green Climate Fund. Green Climate Fund is correct. It intended to assist the developing country in adaptation mitigation practices to counter climate change. It is found under the aegis of UNEP, OECD, Asian Development Bank, and World Bank. The first statement is right, but the second statement, the Green Climate Fund was designated as an operating of entirely financial mechanism of UNFCCC in accordance with Article 11 of Convention. So it's not like you have all these people, UNEP, OECD, Green Climate Fund, UNFCCC will come. Okay, it's again current affair, you should know. Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament, Development for 2014 was given to which of the following? See, this question paper is in 2017. 2017. But they are asking 2014. which means it is related to something very important, ISRO, that might have come in current affair again in that particular 2016 or 17 year. Only then this has been come as this has been asked as a question. Okay. Thank you so much. So yes, today's class was very helpful and very useful. We just took 2.5 hours and we discussed most important concept. So wherever I told you to refer special class, do go and refer special classes, and most importantly, please revise all these questions again and think about what are all the strategies I told you, what are all the informations I gave you today. It will help you a lot in examination. It's not just the content you study that will help you in the examination. The most important concept is strategy and how you use your data, the data you have it in your mind. That is what will help you in the examination. Fine. So all the best. We will meet again day after tomorrow and with 2015 question paper. Thank you so much, and share this video, like this video, and definitely go and watch these special class sessions. They will help you a lot. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. You were great learners today. So I wish you all the best. I want every one of you to clear this examination. Okay. Thank you. We'll meet you again.